This is truly one of the most intimate and soul shifting episodes I've ever shared. Hello, everyone. Today I'm taking you inside a very significant experience that on the surface may seem bizarre, but let me tell you, this first experience that I'm going to share with you is about a journey I took into the dark. It is a 4-day dark retreat. Actually, I spent 92 hours in complete and total darkness. And then I'm going to share with you an experience that I went through to figure out if another trip was my next right step and how I use soul math to figure that out. All right. On the surface, these may seem like two completely different things, but together they've transformed the way I make decisions as a mother and for my daughter and to serve my mission. So, the first experience is a 4-day dark retreat. So, 92 hours in complete and total darkness. That's a digital detox, no phones, no laptop, no computer, no distractions, and no light, just me. So, I took this journey into really the jungle, basically, into a very secluded area. And I was closed into a room that had a small cot, brick walls, a small round table, one chair that folded, a heater, and a box that it went into the wall so that when something could be put in it, like my food, my hot tea and food twice a day that was supposed to be delivered, and I would open that box, grab what I needed, and return it to that. And again, no light being able to come in. A small bathroom with a shower, toilet, and sink, and a shelf forehead level, which I hit a couple times. So, this was a journey that I decided to take for several reasons. One is the spiritual side, digging deep into knowing a deep knowing, understanding, and intimacy with myself, finding myself, being able to trust my moods and emotions, choices, judgment, decisions. I make decisions for myself, my four daughters, so my family and extended family, my work family, and my community, you that are listening. And I want to come from a place of integrity always. The second thing that happened was an invitation to speak at a high level event in Bali, which is a sacred place for me. It was a journey that I experienced as part of my healing journey in 2007. I went to Ubud, Bali, and stayed there for 5 weeks. A week of that, I did a writing retreat, which was quite amazing. Met a medicine man and toured the area. It was just very, very healing and spiritual. This invitation comes at a time when I've promised myself I'd stay grounded at home for my youngest daughter's senior year. Both experiences forced me to ask, how do I know when a yes is the right yes? That's when the framework came through what I now call soul math. So let's start at the beginning. First, first thing was into the dark. So a few weeks ago, I checked myself into a dark retreat. If you've never heard of it, it is exactly what it sounds like. You spend several days in absolute blackout. You're alone completely. No light, no screens, no stimulus, no clock, just silence and shadow. And I did it for 92 hours. Why, you may ask? You may think this crazy, and others will be very intrigued. But I will tell you, because I know that true healing, the deep kind, requires stillness. And sometimes we can't access that stillness in the brightness of everyday life. And that is definitely true for me. Constantly distracted 24/7 for my business, 24/7 for my family, always thinking, how can I serve better? How do I show up better? And getting honestly exhausted in the process. Well, as a doctor, I know the physical benefits of a dark retreat. This kind of stillness is key. The pineal gland gets to recalibrate. Melatonin surges naturally, which aids healing and hormonal balance. And then, after a certain amount of time in the dark, your brain wants to stimulate light. So, there's a natural release of DMT, which explains the vivid dreams and even visions that I experienced. Really vivid dreams. I mean, I can tell you, I had this one dream, which is kind of funny, that I had a my phone was on and I'm trying to press the buttons and I couldn't, but then there's an iPad right after my phone, visual, multicolor, very expressive images, and I can't get it. So anyway, I dreamed of technology in my very vivid dreams. But then also vision, seeing the galaxy, being able to meditate in the deepest way that I've ever meditated in my life, and to reinforce that it's possible that I can do that. Also, in the dark, the nervous system gets a rare chance to fully exhale, to relax. But what I didn't expect was what I'd find in the dark. I really didn't expect this at all. By the third day, I began to see, not with my eyes, but with my inner awareness. My mind painted the room in a glowing red chamber. I slipped into the deepest meditations I've ever experienced, and the dreams, boy, were they vivid. Like I said, almost more real than in waking life. Even getting there to this journey, to this place, very spontaneous trip. I booked it 2 days in advance, but getting there tested me. The plane I was on had engine trouble and returned to the originating airport. But something fascinating happened. The passengers were calm. And I was like, okay, is this a cultural thing? We're in Mexico. This is maybe everyone's calm, chilled out. No one was arguing with flight attendants or gate agents or anything like that. Everyone was calm and like, okay, we'll wait for the next plane. And I tell you, as a result, I was calm too. Well, that moment mirrored the retreat. Didn't get scary for me. So it leaves me to really understand that even when life gets shaky, I am equipped to find stillness inside it. Like I like to tell my clients and my participants in Magic Menopause have heard me say this over and over again, to be the ocean, not the waves, to be the eye of the storm. And that is definitely something I experienced. The darkness didn't scare me, it cleared me. Now, I want to share with you about an invitation that I almost declined. When I returned from the retreat, before I do, let me just share with you. Once I was happy to get out at 92 hours. When the sun was rising, I got out and they knocked on my box that morning and said, okay, sunrise. And so I knew it was time I could open the doors and remove turn on the lights and go outside. And very gently opening my eyes to the sunrise was another spiritual experience. Everything seemed more vivid. The sounds were sharp. I could hear the birds. I could hear a rooster way in the distance. And I felt the breeze on my skin and the sunlight warming me. And it was a beautiful experience coming out. But then have to admit that I was quick to go to the nearest town, book myself in a 4-star, and have some steak, because after a few days of vegetarian meals, I was really looking forward to it. That is the truth of it. All right, so on to the invitation that I almost declined. So when I returned from the retreat, I was hit with an invitation, a speaking engagement in Bali. And that's a 25-hour flight, or up to 27 or 35, depending on how you go. It's a long flight. This invitation is for me to speak for a group of 40 high level and high impact individuals, the kind of people who could take my products and programs into entirely new channels. They offer to fly me business class, and it's hosted in a deeply healing environment in Ubud, Bali. It's intimate. The values are aligned, fitness and faith, and it's high leverage. Here's the catch. I had promised myself and my youngest daughter that I wouldn't travel this year, not while she's in her senior year of high school, not unless it was absolutely a hell yes. So the easy answer was no. But my time in the dark helped me realize something. This wasn't a conflict with my values. It actually might be an expression of them. And that's when soul math clicked in. So let me explain soul math to you. Okay, what is soul math? It's the inner calculus that I use to make aligned decisions, decisions that nourish me, support my family, and expand my mission. I want to say that again, an inner calculation that I use to make aligned decisions, decisions that nourish me, support my family, and expand my mission. In other words, help you better. Here's how it works. Well, first of all, soul math isn't, is this logical? Is this sufficient? Will other people approve of me doing this? No, it is none of that. What it is, will this heal me? Will this ripple outward to those I serve and love? Can I say yes with love and not guilt? That's a big one. And will this make me a better mother, healer, and woman? Those are the questions. I'll repeat it. Will this heal me? Will this ripple outward to those I serve and those I love? Can I say yes with love and not with guilt? Will this make me a better mother, healer, and woman? So it's not a pro con list. It's not fear based decision making. It's not obligation driven. It's about solving for wholeness. The formula might look something like this if you're really to calculate it out. So soul math equals healing plus alignment plus impact times presence felt times integrity lived divided by energy cost and inner resistance, whatever that inner resistance is. So if the result is a lightness in your body, it's a soul math yes. So I like to say if it makes my heart sing when I put it in this formula, when I put these things to true alignment, does it make my heart sing? So then that's a soul math yes. So when I applied it to this Bali invitation, everything aligned. Yes, it nourishes me on a soul level. It serves others at scale. It models empowered decision making for my daughter, and it brings me back more whole, not more fragmented. So, this is a regenerative yes, the kind that multiplies rather than divides. And that's the goal, isn't it? So, I really wanted to speak into this issue because there's a lot of maternal guilt. I've experienced lots of maternal guilt over the years, but understanding that presence isn't just proximity. And I want to speak directly to the mothers listening or anyone caring for someone else. We often carry this belief that presence means being physically close, but presence is really about emotional certainty. When my daughter sees me choose something aligned, not reactive, not scattered, not people pleasing, she learns something essential. You don't have to sacrifice yourself to be loyal to someone you love. You can choose wholeness and still be deeply present. That's the legacy I want to leave her. Not that I was always home, but that I was always true. And she knows I'm here for her. Well, now it's your turn. I want to leave you with this question. What decision in your life is asking for soul math? Maybe it's something big, a relationship, a move, a job. Maybe it's something small, a yes you've been scared to claim. Whatever it is, try this. Step into stillness. No, you don't have to go into a dark chamber for 4 days, but step into stillness. What that's like for you. Remove the distractions, get rid of the phone, turn off the electronics, and step into that stillness with deep breathing, deep sense of being in your body. Ask the real questions. Will this heal me? Will it ripple? Will it strengthen who I want to be? And then listen. You don't need certainty, you just need clarity. And clarity comes when your soul speaks louder than your fear. Well, I've created a journal page to help me walk through the soul math process. If you'd like a copy of this journal page, I've created a free download for you. It's beautiful, simple, very simple, and designed to help you say yes to the decisions that multiply your alignment and impact. You can grab it at dranna.com/soul math. So dranna.com/soul math. And if you want to hear more about the retreat, my Bali experience, or what visions came through in the dark, send me a message. I'd love to share more. It was such an incredible experience. Until next time, stay nourished, stay grounded, and stay soul aligned. This is Dr. Anna Cabeca. I love being your girlfriend doctor.
Thanks for watching another episode of the Girlfriend Doctor podcast. Check out all the links below for more.